right, welcome to episode 4 of Diary with a Messiah. Those that have watched previous episodes, I appreciate you still watching. Those that are brand new, hope you get something out of it. Today's topic that I want to talk about is, a little bit different. It's about relationships in the world of professional wrestling. I think sometimes it is very hard to have a relationship with someone in our line of work, just because of what it takes to make it in our line of work. And if you're someone that is in the business or someone that is thinking of getting into the business, one thing I think every successful trainer will tell you is that you have to be willing to sacrifice anything and almost everything to make it. In the world of professional wrestling today, where there is an abundance of promotions that are out there for you to work with and get your name out there and requires traveling, it's going to require you to be away most weekends and even certain parts of the week. You could easily do loops up in the New England area that will keep you there Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. You can do some loops up in Canada that will keep you there for a couple of days. Or, you may be lucky enough to make some connections and get tours to go internationally to Mexico and even Japan that will take you there for even a month, if not longer. You have to be prepared if you are in a relationship with someone and making sure that they support your dreams and your passions as much as you would support them. But sometimes the support just isn't enough. Relationships do get strained when it comes to the world of professional wrestling. Those in the beginning might think that, yeah, this is pretty cool for them. But then when you start missing birthdays, especially milestone birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, showers, barbecues, family gatherings, important things in life, that's hard. That is extremely hard to hold on to. I have known many that have told me, and those that have been in the big leagues of WWE that have, missed the birth of their child, and missed wedding anniversaries, and almost, missed their own wedding because of chasing this dream that we love called professional wrestling. There is no off season. We're grinding in this 365 days a year. And, being able to be at your best to do this on a big scale and doing this on a, high level requires a lot of focus and mental and emotional stability. And kind of, you need to have a little bit of a thick heart and a thick skin. Because trust me when I tell you, relationships will play a part in a downfall of a career, an almost career. You can work so hard for something and, because someone may care about you so much, they might become a little manipulative when it comes to the relationship that they're in. And it could be because of their own insecurities, or, they just don't feel that what you do is that good, or that it's great. So, I encourage anyone and everyone that's out there that if you're in a relationship right now and you're in the business, keep that communication open as far as, what your needs and what your wants are and what you want to accomplish in professional wrestling. And to those that are in relationships now that are thinking about getting into the sport of professional wrestling, I think the ground rules need to be laid as far as, again, what you want out of it and what both you and your significant other, are willing to tolerate within those guidelines of wanting to be a professional wrestler. And goes to the case of those that are really trying to make a name for themselves in the business and, you aren't in a relationship, but you come upon one. That can be very tough. But, if you can be open and honest, and the significant other that you share a relationship with is just as open and as honest and understanding, and knowing that there's going to be good times and bad, you can truly, truly make it work. You know, when I first got into professional wrestling, I had started dating someone that I was friends with for a very long time. And, you know, throughout that relationship, it was very tough because, you know, that individual to me, you know, said point blank that felt that professional wrestling is stupid, that it doesn't make sense, and that you should just do it for fun. And, you know, I didn't really pay that much attention to it. And I stuck in that relationship for, you know, a long while wrestling, and didn't realize that, you know, after being in that relationship while, you know, chasing my dreams to be a wrestler, that, you know, at about the 5-year mark, 6-year mark, I would say, you know, I was starting to become very, very burnt out, very bitter, very emotional. And literally, I ended up taking some time off from the business for a while. And it wasn't until that relationship ended that I realized that for the longest time, I blamed that individual for manipulating me into hating something that I loved, because they were very selfish in that regard. In reality, I should have been upset with myself for allowing myself to let someone ruin something I love so much, ruin a passion that I have for something so much. And that was on me. I let that person get to me mentally and emotionally, and I let them manipulate me and wear me down to make me believe that I really didn't love what I was doing and it was just for fun. You know, so I realized that, you know, when I got back into professional wrestling, you know, I kind of knew what I wanted. I knew what I was willing to tolerate and not tolerate from a relationship standpoint. And, you know, as I went through, you know, other relationships, you know, they may not understand the professional wrestling realm, but the hope is that they would support that lifestyle. And again, while it got a little rough sometimes, I think the communication got better. And when I look at where I am today, the relationship that I'm in with right now is probably the greatest relationship I've ever had, because the individual that I'm in a relationship with right now, while she may not understand wrestling, she's a cheerleader. She supports me. She wants to see me chase my dreams as far as I can chase them. And I could not be happier for that, because I, at the same token, want her to chase all the dreams that she wants in life, and, you know, wanting to see where all of that goes. But I think for anyone that wants to get involved or is involved in professional wrestling, you have to have an open mind to your significant other that is in the business. You should want to learn, you know, what our business is about, because it can get complicated, that's for sure. But I think if we all better communicate what our business is about to those that don't know about it, it might help ease, and it might help them understand what those of us in the business go through from a mental, emotional, and a physical standpoint. And, you know, we're our own worst critics. We're our own worst enemies sometimes in our line of work. And, you know, just like anyone, we have down times where we may doubt ourselves. We may doubt our abilities. We may doubt that what we're doing and why we're doing it is, you know, to get to a bigger place. And I know for myself, I have gotten into some of those periods mentally and emotionally, you know, where I felt like all the work that I've put in has been for nothing. I felt like what I've put my body through for so long isn't worth it. But when you have the right support system to kind of talk a lot of those things out, sometimes they're able to help you see things that you don't necessarily notice yourself. And that is the mark of someone that is right for those in our line of work, or in any line of work where something is really tough. Again, if you're, in a good relationship with someone and things at their job aren't the greatest, you got to be able to communicate and talk them through to make sure that if they have a thought of maybe leaving that job, it's the right decision. When I look back on some of the years that I lost in professional wrestling because I allowed myself to let someone manipulate me, for the better part early on, I couldn't get out of my mind where I think I could be right now if I didn't give up for that little bit of time. But again, you can't change the past, and all you can do is continue to look forward. So, I encourage anyone that's out there that, is going through relationships that are like that, or they don't feel that they're in a good relationship and wanting to see you go further places in your dreams. You need to know when it's time to cut that off, because that can end up becoming a very toxic relationship. And then on the opposite side of it too, you have those that get into relationships with others that are in our line of work. And for some, it works. And for others, it doesn't. And it breeds a lot of jealousy, and it breeds a lot of negativity. And a lot of things get out there from different sides that could hurt you. And I'm not saying to not get involved in relationships with someone in the business. For me, it's not for me. I've never wanted to get involved in a relationship with someone in the business just because I felt like it would hinder me, and it felt like it would distract me from what my goals were. But I have seen many relationships come out of the professional wrestling industry where many have gotten married and they have a great relationship. Unfortunately, I've seen the flip side where it has caused a lot of negativity. It has ruined networking, it has ruined relationships, and it's ruined the promotions for those that they've worked for. Where they don't work for those promotions anymore because their former significant other now works for them. And then I've seen the side where rumors get spread and lies are spread, and exaggerated truths are spread that it hurts someone's reputation. So for me, I truly like to call the people in our sport, male and female, brothers and sisters. I want to see people make it in the business. But at the same token, if they're willing to take a stab at a relationship in the business, again, the communication needs to be there. The open and honest communication has to be there for what their goals are and where they want to get to. And if they're willing to do it together, then the sky is the limit for not just their careers in professional wrestling, but for their life outside of the business as well. I have been very upfront and honest with many students that I've come across, especially at our WrestlePro school, and have had discussions with them about, what it is like to be involved in a relationship in the business, or, how your relationships with someone outside of the business takes a toll on you mentally and physically. Because I have seen many, like myself in times, walk away for a certain time or altogether from the business because their significant other, I hate to say it, manipulates them into quitting. And no one deserves to be in any type of relationship like that, because to me, that's considered an abusive relationship. The person that should be cheering you on, and instead they are trying to take you away from something, is someone that is not mature enough, and is probably not ready to be in a relationship. So to anybody out there that's chasing any dream in life, do not let any relationships or family, for that matter, take you away from something that you want to achieve in life. Those people are not right for you, and it is downright toxic. So, again, I appreciate you joining me on this episode. Really not much to delve further, but if I can help answer any questions from anyone personally, feel free to shoot me a message and let's talk about it. But again, I hope any of you that are out there that are in the business, that have relationships, I really hope that they are honest. I really hope that they are loving and supportive. And those of you that are looking to get into the business, I truly hope that those relationships are supporting you and chasing your dreams. So that's all I've got this week. I will see you next week on episode 5 of Diary with a Messiah. Thank you.